Corsi here. In this question we've got a circle centre C, we've got a point in the circumference P, and we're asked to find the equation of that tangent at P. One of the facts about tangents to circles is that they meet the radius out to that point of contact, meet that radius at right angles. So CPT, that angle there, is right angled. Now to find the equation of a line, if we know the gradient of the line and we know a point on the line, then we know its equation is y minus b equals mx minus c. Now, we know a point on the line, that's 513, but we don't know the gradient of that tangent line. But we do know it's at right angles to this radius, and we can work out the gradient of that radius PC. We have y difference, 13 minus 12, over the x difference, 5 minus 8. So that's 1 over negative 3, or negative 1/3. And it's certainly a downhill line, 1 along a third down, or 3 along 1 down. It looks okay. And what does that mean about the line that's perpendicular to PC? What does it have as a gradient? Well, remember the result is that we invert that fraction, 3 over 1, and change the sign. So it'd be positive 3 over 1. Reason being that if we multiply negative 1/3 and 3 over 1, we get an answer of negative 1. Remember, multiplying a gradient with its perpendicular gradient gives us negative 1. So gradient of a perpendicular line is 3, which implies that the gradient of the tangent line will be equal to 3. So I think we've got all the pieces together to use this result up here, the y minus b equals mx minus c formula. So let's just summarize it all. A point on the tangent is 513. Gradient of tangent is 3. 1 along 3 up, 1 along 3 up. That looks good. So the equation of the tangent at P is y minus b, that's y minus the 13, equals m gradient 3 times x minus a, which is 5, x minus 5. So let's tidy this up. Y minus 13, 3x minus 15 when we get rid of the brackets there. And let's get the numbers together. We'll add 13 to both sides. So we get y equals 3x minus t as the equation of that tangent. Now let's have a look, if we can find it, at the next part of the question. So part B, or the first part of B, says state the coordinates of t. Well, y equals mx plus c. This negative 2 is where that line crosses the y-axis. So t will be the point 0, negative 2. Let's just add that to the diagram here. 0, negative 2. And the final part of this question, find the equation of the circle that passes through points C, P and T. So let's just look at that. This is part B part 2. We have the point C, P, T lying on a circle. That would mean that this right angle is at the circumference of the circle. Now, one of the properties of circles is that if we draw an angle in a semicircle, it will be a right angle. Any point in a semicircle is going to be a right angle. So in this case, since P is the right angle, CT is going to end up being the diameter of the circle that we're after. So let's draw that diameter on this diagram. And the circle that we'll be looking at must have its centre as the midpoint of CT. So let's attempt to do a sketch of that circle. And that's a pretty good representation of the circle. There's CT as the diameter, and CPT is an angle in the semicircle, therefore it's at right angles. So we can see that the centre of this circle is going to be the midpoint of the line CT. So let's work that out. Centre of circle is, now to find the midpoint, we average the x coordinates, that's 8, 0, or find the mean, 8 plus 0 divided by 2, and then 12 plus the negative 2, average of these two y coordinates, the mean of the two y coordinates. So that's 8 over 2, that's 4. 12 plus negative 2 is 10, 10 over 2 is 5. So this point, the centre of the circle, will be 4, 5. Radius of this circle, well, let's choose 4, 5 up to 8, 12. And let's work out the distance from these, between these 2 points. So remember the distance formula was the x difference squared, that's 8 minus 4 squared, plus the y difference squared, 12 minus 5 all squared. Let's see what that comes to. 8 minus 4 is 4, so 4 squared plus 5 away from 12 is 7. So we've got 16 plus 49, that's 65. So square root of 65 for the radius of the circle. So the equation of the required circle, now in this case when we know, let's put this up here, if we know the centre is AB, we know the radius is R, the equation of the circle is x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equals r squared. That's the formula I'm now about to use. So the equation of the required circle is x minus a, that's 4, all squared, plus y minus 5, b, all squared, equals root 65 squared, which is 65. So that's the equation of the circle that we were asked to find, the one that passes through C, P and T. That's Mr. Corsi signing out. Hope you enjoyed the video.